let's try this again. Dear Lord Farquaad, this was ridiculous. Technology. I love it and I hate it so much.
Yes. This is our well, I was gonna say second attempt, but I feel like it's really like our fourth attempt.
For me, it's been several. I lost count about 5 minutes ago.
We are still struggling. We apparently just it's part of our deal. We just struggle with technology on this show. It's like it's the show where we talk about spooky things and struggle technologically.
Maybe that's why. I feel like we could play that into our cause.
We totally could. Like the ghosts are interfering with our internet connections.
Right. They know we're talking about them.
Or to quote the wise Zach Bagans. Right at this exact moment.
Anyway.
My battery mysteriously drained. Anyway, go on. Sorry.
Before I was so rudely interrupted talking about my cats. I'm just gonna keep talking about my cats because I'm
go
really
for it.
I'm actually gonna delete the old one, so you didn't miss much, but I'm gonna talk about my cats, damn it. Whether you like it or not. I don't know if something in here was a dog person, but too damn bad. So anyway. So we had mentioned in the last episode, I just got a house and I will be moving in the next couple weeks and I'm getting a cat. Actually, I'm getting 2 cats and I'm very excited and it took me forever to name them with my boyfriend because I have very whimsical names and he wants to name them all after like classic rock songs. Oh. Which I'm not cool with. So I'm very excited. I have a little black one and a little calico, and they're only 7 weeks old.
They're so cute.
They're so cute. And so the black one is Salem, and the calico is Willow. I wanted to.
Yay! So you settled on those names?
Did I not tell you this?
you just would tell me like, so I'm kind of leaning toward this, but I'm not sure.
I know. I was like, I finally rubbed it. Like we were packing the other day and I was like, listen, I don't think you understand how much this is stressing me out. So like, if we could agree on something, I would feel a lot better about life right now because I'm really stressed out. Not about packing, about the names.
Just about the cats.
Yeah. So finally, like, honestly, like, okay, Willow kept like appearing in my mind and of course like I really liked the name Patchouli. I thought it was awesome, especially since cool. Yeah, especially since she has patches and so patches is Julie, you know. So that was my way of trying to like sell the idea to him, but it didn't work. No. And so I really like it, but eventually I want to get a bearded dragon and maybe I'll name that Patchouli. But
I'm really surprised that he liked Willow more than Patchouli because, like, if you had gone with Patchouli, he could have called her Pat.
Well, and
which is a really hilarious name for a cat.
Well, he's a Pat.
Hey, Pat.
Damn it, Pat.
It's like naming a dog or a cat Linda or like
Pat, get off the couch.
Yeah. Damn it, Phyllis. Right. Oh God.
It's a pretty great idea. But no, and it's funny, especially because he's a freaking chef. I mean,
yeah.
Come on now. And then I tried sage and he didn't like sage. He's like, she's not the color of sage. And I'm like,
well, no cat is gonna be the color of sage, hopefully.
What cat is the color of sage?
Like that's a really weird reason. She's not the right color to be named Sage.
Yeah, so I was like, this sucks. But yeah, anyway, so I'm very excited about them, but I'm not technically going to get them until we get all moved in because, I mean, they're only 7 weeks old, and I don't want anything to happen to them before then. So they're at my new neighbors because they're the ones that had the kittens. And they keep sending me pictures, and they sent me this hilarious picture of Willow, and it looks like almost like a Sasquatch sighting. And he's like, he just like sends me this photo of her like, oops, I got caught. And he's like, escape me. Apparently she escaped from the little room that they've been keeping her in. And so he's like, escapee. So that's crazy.
I'm just going to call her Sasquatch. Hope that's cool. I'm just kidding.
Sasquatch. No, Sasquatch. But anyway.
I like the names though. I think they're really cute.
Thank you. Except like literally not even 10 minutes after we agreed on Willow and I started telling people, it's like I'm naming children. Like this is how big of a deal it is to me. But someone posted on Facebook, the lady that gave me the 2 younger guinea pigs for the library.
Yeah.
Not even 10 minutes after we decided on Willow.
Yeah.
She posted this new bird she got, and she also named it Willow.
Oh, geez.
And I was like, man, see, everybody like a lot of people name their pets Willow. I feel it's a more popular name, and I don't like names that other people have.
Well, I mean, it's hard to get something that's like completely unique. I mean, like obviously, like we have a black cat named Banks, and I have obviously named after, Black Cat and Hocus Pocus. But like I've come across like I've only had him for, like 5 months, 4 or 5 months, maybe. God, not even that long. I've only had him for a few months is the point. And I've already run into like several people, or at least seen several people online, like through social media that also have black cats named Banks. And like, granted, they're like in witchy groups and stuff, but it's like, dang it. Like,
right.
I wasn't as cool as I thought.
I've seen a lot of people throw Salem around when people are like, help me name my cat. But not many people have actually named their cat Salem. And honestly, my sister and I were obsessed with Sabrina the Teenage Witch growing up.
It was a great show.
Yeah, and Salem is the cat on there. And so I'm like,
he was hilarious.
He was hilarious. You know what? I want to rewatch that show.
Me too. This is putting me in the mood to watch Sabrina.
Right. Have you finished Charmed?
No, I still haven't finished Charmed. Are
you on the last season?
I don't know if I am or not.
So I'm on like episode 12 of the last season, and honestly, it's taken forever to get through it because I'm like, this is
gotten really bad.
It's just lame. Like it's just really lame now, and the storyline is not what it once was. And obviously, you can tell they're like fading it out, and they're kind of like, yeah, guys, it's probably about time to end this thing. So
it jumped the shark. Like, I mean, it was already getting kind of weird. Like when I stopped watching it, like, okay, so what had just happened? Like Leo, God, the whole saga with Piper and Leo is just like ridiculous.
Oh
like
it's a freaking soap opera.
Yeah, seriously. Like he's a white lighter and they can't, but then they're allowed to get married, but then he like ends up being evil, and then he's not evil, and then he ends up being called to be an elder, so he can't like be married to Piper anymore. It's just like, oh my God. Like so I think what had last happened is that he had like been an elder and like they sent him back. Like, okay, so like there's all these people after their kid. There's like all these forces after their kid. And Leo was like an elder, but maybe he's also sort of evil. Oh, the last episode, it was like, I remember now, it was like an alternate reality where Leo and Chris were both evil, and like, all of them were evil. And they like went there and had, do you remember this at all?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was where I left off.
And the actor that plays Chris sucks. Like,
oh my God, so bad.
He's a horrible act. Like, I mean,
so bad.
Could you be any more monotone? Like, oh my God, you guys are like, I just gotta go focus on my art right now. Okay, like, can you guys take this a little more seriously?
He took lessons from the Keanu Reeves School of Acting.
Right. Oh my God. Yes. Okay, I'll be honest. Like, this is going to sound horrible, but Prue and Chris, it was like, I read ahead on Wikipedia because I shouldn't, but I do anyway. So I know what's going to happen.
Okay.
And so like, I just could not wait for them to die because I was just like, I can't take it much longer. Like Prue was she just turned into such a bitch, and I just cannot stand her anymore. And I knew she was gonna die, and like and I kept reading like articles about how who's the chick that plays her?
Shannon Doherty.
Yeah, she couldn't get along with anybody in that freaking cast.
Yeah, so, I've heard that.
Yeah, they like killed off her boyfriend. They killed off Andy because she wasn't getting along with him, and then her and oh my gosh, I can't remember anyone's name right now. Phoebe. They weren't getting along, and so they ended up killing off her because she was the one that was the common denominator in that whole thing. So, which honestly, I was okay with it. But jeez. Yeah, and then when Chris was gone, I was like, thank God. Like, he comes into the room and he just sits there and whines the whole time.
Yeah, and he's supposed to be a protective figure too. It's like, okay, what good are you? Like, why are you even here? Like, you're supposed to be looking after them.
Oh, wait, did you know that he died? Did I just
No, but I mean, yeah, I didn't know that he died, but I welcome him dying. So
I'm so sorry.
Cool. It's fine.
Well, now you know.
Now I know, and I am relieved, and maybe I'll actually start watching the show again, because he was like a big part of the reason why I was like, you know what, I need a break.
Right. Well, there is hope. So,
yay!
There's kind of hope, but it doesn't get much better.
Okay, well, I mean, I gotta see it through though at this point. Like, I've gotten pretty dang far.
Right.
I do love it.
Do you know who Chris is?
Yeah, I know that he's out. Like, God, spoiler alert for any witchy people out there who haven't watched the show. We're just like, dropping like, you're like, Chris dies, and oh, by the way, he's Piper. He's their kid, and like, Piper Leo's son, and that's why there's like a thing with their other kid. Yeah. Anyway.
Right, which is like, it's crazy the way he treats them when he's their kid. I'm just like, the epitome of like the sassy teen that is way out of line. Like,
well, and he's really too old to have that attitude too.
Right.
It's like, shouldn't you have gone through this phase like 5 years earlier?
Right.
Because
like, are you still living with your parents in the future and just like feeding off of like their refrigerator and video games?
Oh man.
But so I'm so sorry I did that.
Oh no, it's fine. I really don't mind. Like I said, like, he drove me crazy. It's nice to know that he dies, and like, I really do. Like, I'm so glad to hear that man dies. But, like, I really do love the show because it's just like, there's something about like 90s shows and like early 2000s TV. Like, it's just like it's so cheesy, but like so satisfyingly cheesy. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like, for it to be witchy and cheesy, because like, I really loved Buffy the Vampire Slayer too.
I've never watched that. Is that on
Oh
Netflix?
my God, you should.
I need to.
It's similar. Like, it's got a similar feel to Charmed. It's, it's kind of this like 90s vintage tough girl, paranormal type show. It is weird because there's obviously like vampires and werewolves and like, but there's also some witchcraft in there, which is cool. Also, one of the characters' names is Willow, and she's a witch and she's awesome. So
I know, yeah, and that's why yesterday when I told my cousin that like when I was telling everybody about I named my cats, it's a big deal. She's like, oh, it reminds me of Lily from How I Met Your Mother on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Her name was Willow and she was a witch. And I was like, oh, well, there we go. And so, yep, there's that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, one show I just started watching. Have you watched Salem? Speaking of Salem.
I started watching it. I couldn't get into it.
It's not as good as I thought it was going to be. And like, honestly, I'm on like episode 4 or 5, maybe 5. And like, I'm just trying to push through it a little bit to see if it gets better. But honestly, it's like a horror movie.
It's like a horror movie, and it's incredible. Okay, so I'm about to sound really snobby and pretentious, and I'm sorry, but like, so I've written a novel that takes place like in the 1600s and it's
amazing.
Well, thank you. And
You're welcome.
I can't wait for you to read like the newest iteration too, because it's changed a lot. But like, so the point is, like, I've had to, like, I did a lot of research, to adequately portray or tell a story that took place against the backdrop of the Salem witch trials. And like, when I started watching this show, like, it's so inaccurate. Like, it's just so not how anything happened. And like even like there are like even in the first episode, like they showed this this like tavern where there were people in there drinking. It's like these people were Puritans. Like there weren't taverns in town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's like they weren't drinking. They were probably in bed by like 7:30 because like you know they had no electricity and like they've been working in the fields all day and they like certainly weren't okay with like casual, you know, drunkenness. But like anyway, so yeah, I had started watching that show. I think I made it through 2 episodes and I was just like, I don't know about this, friends. And I stopped. But I mean, if it gets better, let me know. I'd be happy to give it another shot.
Right. Well, so far it hasn't. So and I hate the fact that the witch is the evil person. And it just it bothers me how much it just kind of plays into the entire like
stereotype.
Stereotype of witches. And I'm like, you're not helping at
seriously.
all. This is
like,
why people hate us.
Because like even in like that, like either the first or second episode, I don't know, it was one of the two. Like it showed her, like she was like keeping her husband hostage, basically. Like she had married him, like just like for the money, and like had like paralyzed him or something, and like it was just, and like the whole witch's teeth thing. Like she was literally feeding a toad from like a nipple on her thigh. Just like, what in the hell is happening right now?
Well, there's like some parts, there's a lot of stuff that I never saw The Exorcist, which is kind of insane, but I've heard a lot of horrible scenes about it, and a lot of it like makes me think of that. Like there's this girl that I don't remember if it happens in one of the first 2 episodes or if it's after that, but the girl that's possessed.
Oh yeah, by her. Yep, I saw her.
Okay, that whole thing just gets a little cray. Like the girl like, you know, pulls her tooth out and she's like getting crazy, and there's one where she just like vomits blood all over this chick. And it's just, I'm like, I spend most of this disgusted, and I feel like it could have been a really awesome show if it actually like painted the picture of the witch not being a horrifying monster.
I feel that.
But that's the direction you decide to go. So I
know that like that kind of thing really frustrates me. Even like the movie The Witch that came out last year, I had been really freaking excited about it.
I didn't see that.
Oh my God, I was jazzed about it for like months. Like because so it takes place in like New England and you know the 1600s Puritan era, and it's basically just the story of this family that they were kicked out of the town. They had to like go form a homestead like on the border of this forest. And there, like, obviously there was all this hysteria during that time about witchcraft and stuff. And I thought it was going to end up being a movie because like they all kind of turn on each other and accuse one another. I thought it was just going to be this movie about paranoia. And like, because the Salem witch trials was essentially just, it was like mass hysteria and people taking advantage of it to off their enemies and stuff.
Huh, like, that doesn't sound like anything we're experiencing in present day.
Right? No, not even a little bit. That's not at all why I, you know, was inspired to write a book in that time period.
Or why everything in my town is canceled on the 28th of this month.
Yeah, come on. Like, it's so crazy that like it is over 300 years later and we're not all that much more sophisticated.
Right.
When it comes to like emotions and empathy but anyway, so the movie, like the villain in that movie, it ended up being like a legitimate witch who was evil, and it was so disappointing because like I had been so excited about that movie and I thought it was going to be completely different than that. And it's like, granted, I mean, like I can't say with certainty, but I feel like were I to come out and say like I'm a witch publicly, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't get lynched or something, but like I can't guarantee that. And like, I'm still scared to say that, you know, like, and be like super open about it. And it's because of shit like that. When in reality, the majority of what I do is like burn incense and make tea. You know
right. I mean? Exactly. You know, I just watched Practical Magic the other day.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah. And I hadn't watched it in a while. And so, you know, when she's sitting there, like, he's asking her, like, are you a witch? And she's like, well, I make salves and I make lotions. Yeah. And I make teas. And that's what I do.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like
Yeah.
people are so afraid of what they don't understand. But I mean,
Yeah.
even like I haven't even come out and said it, and like apparently somehow I warranted a phone call from my sister, you know,
Yeah.
telling me like
Yeah.
I just stayed up all night praying about this and blah
Oh
blah about
God.
something about an event I put that I was interested on Facebook. Like
God.
crazy. Like I hadn't even really like read about it or anything. And I'm like, most people put that they're interested in something because they saw somebody else put that they were interested in it and they don't even know what it is, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So and you're freaking out. And yeah, it's very like I hope this isn't like offensive anyway, but like it's funny that you say that because like you've already had to come out with something, you know?
Oh
And
yeah.
it's like,
Yeah, no, I feel that. This is like way like I mean, great, don't get me wrong. It was like terrifying to come out of the closet and be, you know, like, hey
right.
everyone, I'm gay. And I lost people and I mean, you know, I'm better for it. Like I didn't need those people in my life. But like
Gaslight
I yeah.
yourself.
But like this type of like the broom closet is a very different experience because it's like, especially for you and I, like we were raised, you know, very Christian. And so
Right.
it's like,
Most of the people we know are Christians.
yeah. And so it's like, yes, there's a lot of, you know, conflict with certain scriptures and like, well, we won't get into like translations and stuff because there's not as much conflict in scripture with homosexuality as people think, but it is still there. But like, I mean, there's literally a passage in the Bible that says, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Like there are passages in the Bible that say to kill witches. So like,
Right.
I'm still not all that not that comfortable being like, yeah, so let
Right.
me tell you about, and like also I feel like it was just it's so, I mean, you know how it is and like how my family is and they're so defensive about their beliefs and like they take
Yeah.
everything as an attack on their beliefs. And like if I were to say like I don't necessarily believe exactly like you do, they would take it personally and it would be a huge deal.
Right. Well, and this isn't quite as extreme as that, but like living with my boyfriend
Mm-hmm.
has been like I've been very secretive about it. It's
Really?
funny. It's almost like it's very similar in a lot of ways because it's kind of like living with him. Like I'm very secretive about it. Like you know, like on Facebook, I don't even put that we're dating. Like
Oh,
honestly, a
okay.
lot of people don't even know that I'm dating anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And like today the same person I was talking to you about was who is not somebody that has a very clean lifestyle at all. I mean, she talks to me about her sex life. So like,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I gave her a pair of boots that I had. Well, I sold them to her. A pair of cowgirl boots I had that were special. But anyway,
Oh,
they have magical powers. But she was like, well, I didn't want my kids to judge me, you know, if I was living with my boyfriend. And, you know, what about, you know, I don't want to go to hell if I'm living with somebody.
oh
Like people have
God.
asked me that. And I'm like, listen. And I just kind of went into like, going from what we believed in and everything, and I won't get all like too religious or political here, but
Yeah.
my thinking is like, okay, first of all, if you look at the Old Testament, they had like 1,000 wives and like 300 concubines.
Yeah, right.
You know, at
Seriously.
least I'm committed to like one person. But also the fact that like when I was married, I was told it was more godly to stay in my abusive,
Yeah.
horrible relationship where my husband was cheating on me and beating me and saying horrible things to me about how worthless I was and always
God.
angry at me at stupid stuff. You were saying that was okay, but
Right.
something like, you know, your marriage that
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's something that like, you've heard me say it several times where I was like, I wish I had something like that. You know, like I wish I experienced something like that because what I had, I mean, that's why I'm afraid to get married again is because of that and how horrifying it was and the feeling of feeling trapped and like I didn't have a choice. And the fact that you want to say God is okay with that,
Right.
but he's not okay with my relationship where we're both committed to each other. It's a loving relationship. It's
and
working.
it's respectful. Yeah.
Right. It matches way more of those 10 commandments that you talk about than that marriage did. And it's like that marriage was full of lies. It was full of adultery. Like it was a full of full of a lot of things that this relationship isn't. So if I have to pick and choose sins over here, I'm going to pick this one because it's a lot easier to break up with somebody than divorce them. So like,
sure.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. You sound like Estelle, Joey's agent on Friends.
Yes.
Go fuck yourself.
Exactly. So it was just and honestly, like when I said that, she's like, oh well, yeah, I guess I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, obviously don't. Like, I've got through this. And if God knows me more than I know myself, like you claim that he does, and like I have previously claimed that he does, he would have known that I would have gotten to this point if he put me through what I went through. So it's not my fault.
No, not at all. God, people suck sometimes. Ugh, stupid, judgy people.
I know, right? They stink.
They do stink. Jeez.
I hope you enjoyed my rant there. But anyway.
I always enjoy your rants. I love ranting, Senna.
So we're from Michigan, if you haven't caught that yet, if you're just joining us. And so I like to think like my gangster comes out a little bit. And so and I'm like a really short redheaded person. You've seen me if you see my other videos. But
I don't know. I think you're like scrappy though. Like you're scrappy. You're like a fox or like a little red squirrel. You know what I mean? Like you've got like
a fox. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's like what you lack in height, you make up for in like
personality,
in like energy and like what's the word I'm looking for? Like moxie, gumption. Yeah. I think I'm looking for gumption.
Gumption. I like it. I am very feisty. I'm redheaded and I'm a Scorpio. So it's
a good combo.
Just be careful.
Just be careful. You've been warned.
You have been warned. I'm not, and I'll say we had this conversation before we went live, but I can be like respectful of different opinions, even if it's like I want to kind of punch you in the face, but like but I'm not afraid to try and fight for what's good. And so like it's funny because like with this person I was just talking about, we butt heads a little bit because this is the South and people grew up very different than we did. And there's a difference of opinion when you're talking about like racism and things like that. And it's very frustrating for me and I feel very alone sometimes.
Yeah.
But I can still back up a little bit and try and like, and I said this to you, I can still back up and then ask myself, how can I make this an educational experience? Right. And, you know, I feel like that's really important in these kinds of like things. So even if I'm feisty, like I feel like I'm also an educator. So I think that helps a little bit.
No, I think you're very diplomatic, like when you need to be. Don't to any listeners out there, don't mistake feistiness for like bitchiness. Those are two very different things in my opinion.
I enjoy conversation. And the reason I'm where I am now is because I was open to other opinions. And even when I was like the diehard Christian that I was, and you know how I was, like I still listened. I didn't just speak. I listened, and that was very important. And that's why I feel now, you know, I've become more open-minded and I still have a lot to learn. And it's when we think we don't have anything else to learn that we don't make progress. And I think that's one of the problems that we see today.
Absolutely. I feel like
this is me trying to inspire people, apparently.
Well, it's working. Dang it. I've got all kinds of thoughts floating around in my head.
We need like dun, 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 dun. What were you going to say?
I feel like, you know, talking about, you know, being open to acknowledging that there's more for you to learn. I feel like one of the biggest issues in our society today is arrogance. Like, I mean, and unfortunately, I think that ignorance and arrogance tend to go hand in hand. And it's such a bad combo because it's like people who know so little are so confident that they have all the answers. And it's like, how are you supposed to move forward in your life? Like, if you know what I mean? Like, if you're wearing these blinders and not acknowledging that, I don't know. It's really sad. And I feel like it's just made it, social media has made it so much more apparent and noticeable. And like, I don't know.
Social media is so good, but it's so awful at the same time.
Yeah, seriously. Like, I take occasional Facebook fasts. Like last week I wasn't on hardly at all. And then this week I came back and it was like, you know, all of the crazy post Harvey Weinstein shit. So I was like, all right, I'm going to participate again.
Right.
But yeah, like I have to take breaks because it's just people are dumb and cocky.
I own that. I don't know if I mentioned this on here before. Sorry, my headphones crapped out. So if you hear your voice more than once, I'm plugging them in right now.
Okay.
I own a group called the Single Librarian Support Group because it was necessary, and it's exploded into being a very large group.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. The people are great, and it's probably one of the best ideas I had. And honestly, the reason I started it, I go on a lot of tangents, we know, but the reason I started it was because like we have this big main group that most librarians are a part of. It's like the group for librarians. Mm-hmm. And it's called the ALA think tank, American Library Association. And we one person had posted that like something that they'd gotten from a dating site. It was like a message. It was what was it? Something about she said she was a librarian, and he was like, oh, what is it like being a librarian? And she's like, I don't know, I've never been to Liberia before. And I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. And
that is so funny.
Like that's when I was on like trying out dating sites and stuff, and like I could relate in so many ways. And so a lot of people were like, ha ha ha, that's so annoying. And other people were like, I can't believe us as librarians who are supposed to be advocates for the public would do that. And I'm like, honey, this is not missionary dating, okay?
Yeah, seriously.
And so I started the group basically as like me protesting against people being stupid about librarians dating. So
sweet.
Yeah, and it's exploded. Like we have about 600 people now.
Oh,
and
wow.
They're like, yeah, and they like are super active about it, and some of them are like, this is the first group that like once I get a notification, I always check it first, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like honestly, I started this thing as a joke, to be honest. But yeah, it's pretty funny. But sorry, I remember. What were we talking about?
I honestly don't remember either. Oh God.
I seriously don't remember what I was talking
I don't either. I just caught myself actually, please don't be offended, but I feel like you can relate because you're a fellow cat person. Yeah. I just caught myself like zoned out, like tickling my cat's belly. He's like laying in my lap and I'm like, oh, that's so funny. Cute. And then I was like listening, but then it's like, oh yeah, crap, what were we talking about? Like, I don't know.
I think it was we talk about all the time on there that like we get messages or whatever, or people always come up to me and they're like, oh, I bet Google is putting liveness, and I'm like, you clearly do not know what I do. And so it's like it shows you like just how much people are unaware, you know, and they're unaware of the research, because like everybody can use a library. We're not just books. We have technology that you most likely can't afford or have access to. If you do give some money, I can send you the address. But it's just insane that people just don't know. And I agree with you that we are living in a society of ignorance, and I have to see it all the time when people are just like, oh, what's being a librarian like? Or I don't even have a library card. And I'm like, yeah, bye. Swipe left. Never.
God.
So, like, why would you say that to me? Why would you say that to me? Stupid.
Seriously though. Well, I mean, dudes though, I hate to be that girl, but like dudes can be pretty obtuse sometimes. It's not their fault, it's society's fault.
Right?
But
Like when the only name you can agree on is Willow, but whatever. I mean, it's a cute, honestly, when we were trying to think of her name, like it kept popping in my head. And but I was like, no, it's not whimsical enough. It needs to be magical, like patchouli or Artemis.
Oh, I think it's magical.
Well, I just thought it was too common because that's how I feel about things. And it kept popping in my head and I kept like arguing with myself about it. And then finally it was the only one he'd agree with me on. And so I was like, well, okay, I guess it's Willow. And now that I've named her Willow, I'm like, you were Willow from the beginning. Like I knew that and I was stubborn about it, but like, I made a cute little photo in the pic collage thing with their names and all that. I'm a crazy cat lady, but you know what?
Me too. It's okay. I like, like Ashley has had to like legitimately stop me at PetSmart before from buying little outfits for my cats. Like that is how crazy of a cat lady I am. I'm always telling Knox I want to get him a little hat. And like Ashley's like, no. Like you've got to have some self-control. You cannot dress our cats. So like, yeah, like you don't have to make any apologies to me. I completely understand.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, so should we talk about hauntings?
Probably. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, because I need to. Okay, so last time, like we thought I was recording for a long time, and apparently we did not record at all. So my story got cut out completely. So just a quick recap. Look it up, Willard Library. I had to choose a library. In Evansville, Indiana, there is a ghost known as the Gray Lady, and they have a ghost cam that you can watch like anytime, and it's been up for several years, and you can capture if you see any kind of orbs or ghosts or anything. Some of them, like the pictures that they have on there are like people took like a character from a video game, clearly, like because I don't think anyone's roaming the staircase with full-on armor from like Halo.
Probably not. Probably not.
I could be wrong, whatever, but I'm pretty sure not. So
the Gray Lady is a big Master Chief fan.
right. But yeah, so you can look at that. They also have their website, of course, and they have like an entire PDF that you can print out about the Gray Lady and the ghost and everything, and it has some information about it, which is pretty cool. But really cool. It's been the first time she was sighted was by the janitor. I could not tell you the year right now because it's not in front of me like it was last week. But he had spotted her a couple times and nobody believed him. So he resigned, and on his resignation letter, he literally put, I kept seeing a ghost and no one believed me. So
I love that.
Fuck you guys. I'm out of here. So,
oh God.
This was a while ago. I would have say like 1920s, but I could be wrong. But there have been several sightings of her since then, especially the children's room. What up? Holla, represent. Which would be like really awesome. But there have been some people that have said to have seen her like in the study area or the reference section. And there's a video, a very convincing video that I've seen. I actually saw it. So I started following this like several years ago. Like I want to say maybe 2012, 2010 maybe. Oh wow, I don't even remember. Oh yeah, because our library back home is called Willard Library, so I was curious to see if it was haunted or if there's any record of it being haunted. And then I found this one because it had the same name. Yeah, so I haven't researched further if ours is haunted because this was so juicy. So look it up. It's pretty awesome, and there are some pictures that you're like, oh, I'm pretty sure that's legit, but I don't know. We'll never know unless we go. But apparently, I think it was the ghost hunters. I could be wrong. Went there, and did an investigation. But I don't think they found a whole lot, which was kind of disappointing, but you can watch it anyway. And that's it on that. So try to keep that one short. But okay, so my next one, the whole reason I even heard about this, if you're a follower of Witch Mama's Broom Closet, I think that's what it's I think that's what she's called. It's a YouTube channel.
What is it? I missed it.
It's Witch Mama's Broom Closet.
Okay.
She had posted a video earlier this week or last week or whatever, not that long ago, within 14 days. And she was telling a story about her friends and her when she lived up in Chicago, about a cemetery that's apparently on a lot of lists for America's most haunted places in America's most haunted places in America, because that makes sense because you know America's twice. Yes, you know it's in America. America. So she she used to live in Chicago, and they went to this place that is called Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. And before I tell you her story, I'm going to tell you some like background on this place, and I'm going to read it. I could not tell you where I got this information because I don't remember, because I was in a hurry, because it was Bookmobile Day, as it is every Thursday. So, okay, so there's honestly, it kind of reminds me in a way of Harmonia. Okay. Because it is it's a small cemetery, and nobody is really allowed to go there, at least well, of course, at least not at night, because of a lot of activity that's there, and it's very heavily protected by police at night. I say heavily, but like when I say heavily, it sounds like Area 51, but it's not that like crazy.
Dudes with like machine guns, like posted at the corner,
like one toe over the line, and like you know, but no, it's not like that. So, there's only 82 plots at Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, but that certainly hasn't stopped it from becoming one of the most notorious graveyards in the country. Established in 1840, the small area surrounding the cemetery was soon abandoned by English homesteaders who relocated from Chicago to New England, leaving the graves behind. Originally named Everden Cemetery, the property title belonged to Samuel Everden, and though there are 82 plots, many of them were left unused. So during the 1820s and 1830s, Bachelor's Grove was rumored to have been the infamous dumping ground for Chicago's organized crime families.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was the isolated lagoon near the back of the abandoned cemetery that supposedly drew the mob's attention. According to the legends, it soon became the perfect place to fit hitmen, snitches, and people who owed money with a pair of permanent concrete shoes.
Oh my word, that's crazy.
Yeah, and there's like, if you look this up, like there's plenty of pictures of it, and there's like an entire pond behind this place, and this is apparently where they dumped the bodies. Like,
wow.
Ugh, gross. Bachelor's Grove is most famous for the ghost stories that surround the strange plot of land at the end of the long gravel road. One of the most famous images of a supposed ghost was captured at the graveyard. The White Lady, or Madonna of Bachelor's Grove, is rumored to be the spirit of a woman who is buried next to her child. Oftentimes, she's seen wandering the cemetery during the full moon, holding the body of a baby in her arms.
Whoa.
The White Lady is, of course, just one of many strange ghostly things eyewitnesses have seen while braving Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. More than once, groups of people have come across a phantom farmhouse while making the gravel road hike late at night. The house appears as a picturesque white farmhouse in perfect condition before disappearing completely before your eyes.
Oh,
so
wow.
What's crazy about this farmhouse is not only does it disappear, but many people have gone to this place several times where they claim they have seen the house, and then they come back and it's not in the same place, or it's not there at all. So sometimes they'll come across it in a completely different location than where they saw it the last time.
That's so weird.
Very much like Harmonia.
Yeah.
In 1870, a farmer died after he and his horse plowed too close to the water's edge. They have both been spotted in spirit from years later, continuing to plow the area around the lagoon to this day. Only when you call out to him, he dissipates into nothing. Many of the paranormal experiences at Bachelor's Grove Cemetery peaked in the 70s and 80s, like the rash of people in 1984 reported seeing the ghostly figure of a monk walking slowly across the cemetery towards the road. There are still groups who claim to see the orbs of light, strange shadows, and the sounds of arguing voices coming from the lagoon. Visiting the cemetery during the day is totally fine, but at night expect plenty of police presence. So it's probably not a good idea to trespass, but you know, people do anyway. Like, I would.
Yeah, I know, me too. I'm like,
we would people. Probably do it together.
I know. I'm like, I would judge, but I can't.
I mean, it's in Chicago. Road trip next time I'm home.
Hey.
There are still groups who claim to see, wait, I just read that. Visiting the cemetery during the day is totally fine. Okay, so you can visit it during the day. But at night, expect plenty of food. I just read this too. What is wrong with me? Bear with me, people. Don't worry, though, because if you want to visit at night, there are loads of ghost hunts and investigation tours that bring groups out to explore the cemetery at night. Cool. I'm just saying, we all turn 30, and we need to celebrate. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that would be so cool.
That's what we should do to, like, celebrate our birthdays, even though they'll be like way past and we'll be almost like 31 by then. But
hey,
still,
we can celebrate whenever we want. Damn it,
right? Because we're rebels. Okay.
Yeah.
Bachelor's Grove Cemetery is a classic haunting and an iconic part of Chicagoland's history. If you get the chance to visit, don't pass up the opportunity. You listening to this? And if you make it to a picturesque white farmhouse, keep going. It'll be gone soon enough. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, but wait, there's more.
What?
Okay, so obviously there's a lot more to that story, but I'm not going to read it because I'm going to read you a bunch of hauntings that are recorded about this place.
Okay.
Okay, so in the 1960s and 1970s, the cemetery was the target of horrible grave desecration, just like Harmonia.
Yeah.
I just keep thinking of Harmonia in so many ways, even though it's not as cool because it wasn't like Sojourner Truth's little town, and they didn't like.
It wasn't founded by spiritualists.
Spiritualism, and all that fun stuff. Yeah. Some graves were dug up to the wooden coffins, while others had the remains of the deceased disturbed. There has been occasional desecration in modern times, with vandals digging around gravestones, toppling over markers, and spray painting monuments. Every Halloween, which is soon, police have their hands full trying to keep Halloween pranksters and vandals from further destroying this pioneer grave. Why do people want to destroy graveyards?
Yeah, I don't get that. That's so weird.
They need to cut that shit out because
seriously,
disrespect, dishonor on all y'all.
Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your cow.
Seriously. In the middle 1960s, there was evidence of cult activity and animal remains found in the cemetery. Many believe that a group involved in satanic worship, just like Harmonia, may have been the culprit in these apparent animal sacrifices. I need a drink. Not like that kind of drink. Whatever. I mean, I wouldn't mind this. This author had a chance to interview a few people who had nearly walked right into a satanic ritual in progress. Like, what do you do?
Oh my God. Yeah, seriously. Like, excuse me, gentle people.
Wrong party. I'm sorry. I brought the quiche.
Oh God.
That's so funny. Oh, okay. Let me find my spot again because I got a little. Let's see. Had an interview. They described several individuals with black robes carrying candles who were in the process of killing a small animal in the cemetery during a well-known witches' Sabbath. Don't call them witches. I mean, they might be, but different.
They might be, but not all witches do that.
Seriously.
Hashtag not all witches.
Right. Some witches really like animals. Hashtag I love cats.
Yeah, seriously. I'm a fucking oh, excuse me. I'm a gosh darn vegetarian.
You can show your passion and whatever. I can't do it right now. I was trying to think of something that went along with the feistiness of being a redhead and Scorpio kind of thing, but it didn't work. So let's move on and pretend it didn't happen.
Okay.
Many ask why the cemetery is so haunted. Go ahead, ask. Why is it so haunted?
Why is the cemetery so haunted?
Well, I'm going to tell you. Most believe it to be a combination of the grave desecration, satanic worship, and the bodies that have been unceremoniously dumped out here throughout the years. I believe that would do it. Yeah, add that to the fact that those early pioneers have faded largely out of existence and are now almost forgotten. Are they? Indeed. Are they really?
Because I'm pretty sure we're talking about them right now.
Right? The first ghost stories that began circulating amongst the tombstones were the glowing blue balls of light that seemed to display some form of intelligence. Kind of like the one I saw a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
They eluded pursuit, even though a Joliet man named Jack Hermansky, in the early 1970s chased them on a number of occasions. The light was the size of a baseball and floated through the cemetery just out of his reach. Listen, I believe this shit because, like, seriously, I just experienced this. Ooh.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting a phone call and nope, declined. Okay.
Declined.
Seriously, it's like, what, 6 o'clock. Oh, and my Fitbit is yelling at me because it needs charge. I'm going to continue this story right now. The light was the size of baseball. He reported that the ghost light blinked at 15 to 20 second intervals. Who counts that? I don't, if I see something weird like that, I don't start counting when it's doing it.
Yeah.
I go and run to the nearest friend and tell them, holy shit, I just saw a ghost. Crazy. Anyway, he reported that the ghost light, blah, blah, blah. The light disappeared, then reappeared behind him, and so the chase began again throughout the nights he observed. I'm going to turn on this lamp because it started to get dark in here and started to freak me out. Okay. In December of 1971, Denise Travers claimed that she was able to pass her hand through the light on a very close encounter. She felt no heat or sensation at all. It was like putting your hand into a void. How does she know what that's like?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. Skeptics say that the blue lights were actually the methane gas given off by decomposing bodies. However, most of those bodies had crumbled to ashes long ago. The blue lights have not been seen since the latter 1970s. However, a new light has been reported with increasing frequency zooming up and down the main trail leading the cemetery's entrance. This light has been likened to a red skyrocket and is never stationary but constantly moving. Very interesting. The most fascinating story is the old house seen on either side of the main trail leading back into the woods. Witnesses have also reported the house is appearing the same. Okay, we already talked about this. Just kidding. Except I have a name. Arlene McComb saw the house with a group of friends in 1975 and watched as the house began to shrink in size until it was entirely gone from view. Wow. Grace Nortman saw the Phantom House in the winter of 1966 and 1967, while another witness, Mary Ann Curbs, experienced the ghostly abode in 1966. I wonder if these people are still alive and if they'd still tell the tale.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it's not that long ago. Like,
no, it's not.
Yeah.
At all. Okay. Along the Midlothian Turnpike, I am not sure that's how you say it.
It is.
Oh, okay. Well, cool. There have been numerous tales of disappearing cars, which one moment are there, the next they're gone. The first occasion was in June of 1977 when a passing motorist saw a car parked on the side of the road near the creek that flows past the cemetery. That same individual saw it again in September of 1978. He was driving past the cemetery when he saw a car backing across the road into the Rubio Woods area. He assumed it was a police car setting up a speed trap, but within a few seconds after he arrived at the Forest Preserve entrance, it was nowhere to be seen. The chain was still up over the entrance to the picnic area, but the vehicle was gone. Others had passed by cars parked on the shoulder across from the cemetery. After they passed the automobiles and looked into their rearview mirror, the cars have vanished. Some have made a U-turn only to find no car there.
Wow.
Where was it that, was it Missouri or was it Michigan? There was a road this happened a lot where people kept witnessing like a phantom car. And it was like kind of in like one of those back roads where it's like the woods are all around you, but you're going around a corner and you see this car that's going around there and then it's just like gone.
Huh. It must have been in Missouri. This doesn't sound familiar to me.
It may have been because it wasn't very far from wherever I was living at the time, and I'm pretty sure it was Missouri.
Okay.
But it was weird. I'll have to look that up. Oh, there's another story. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna try and find a more. Well, here's one. A local legend has been circulating since the 1960s of a two-headed monster that supposedly crawls out of the lagoon and across the Midlothian Turnpike before also disappearing into Rubio Woods Forest Preserve. Perhaps this apparition was actually the ghost of the farmer and his horse in a state of partial materialization. Surely no one believes in the two-headed monster. Fluffy, wait, he's 3, but you know what it is.
But still, multiple heads.
Multiple heads. I'm going to skip down a little bit because there's a ton of these. Like if you look it up, like there's, for once, you can actually find like all these accounts of things happening at this place. That's electronic devices as normal. Anytime there's a haunting. The area is extremely photogenic. If you look it up, like there are pictures of orbs and whatnot. Couples who have visited the area at night to make out have sometimes complained of a sound of metal on metal near their front door handle. Finally, after the female is totally spooked, she asks to be taken home, whereby they find a hook swinging on the door handle. Allegedly, he was about to open the door when the couple drove away, pulling the hook from his arm. What?
I've heard this story before.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there are several. Let's see. There's a lot about like technology being like seeming like it's fooled with or whatever.
Yeah.
What intrigued me with this story, so like I said, Witch Mama's broom closet. You can look it up because she has this story on YouTube clearly, which you should be on now if you're listening to this. She was, I only like heard, I didn't hear all the full details of the story because I was like multitasking as I was listening to it.
Yeah.
But so she used to live in Chicago. I've said that like 20 million times. But her and her friends went to this cemetery. And of course they had to be very like careful about it because, you know, as previously stated, like police monitor the place at night and all that fun stuff. Well, they were at the cemetery, and again, I'm gonna keep saying this reminds me so much of Harmonia or like a lot of the experiences that I've had because they had seen red eyes.
Oh my God.
And like multiple of them. So they didn't just see like one pair of them, they saw multiple. And she also saw like a tall, lanky figure. It kind of reminds me of that shadow creature that both Jeff and I saw out in the same area at like different times. I don't remember what episode we told that story on, but if you haven't listened to that podcast of ours or whatever you want to call this, because it's on YouTube, it's not exactly, but a friend of ours and I, we found out while we were recording, had seen the exact same thing in the same area of our hometown. And like it's kind of creepy. Like we both describe it the exact same way, and Mairi didn't even know that I had seen it.
No, and like it's what's super crazy about that too is like Jeff, he's a very skeptical person. He's not one to believe in spirits or ghosts or anything, and he will still tell you to this day like what he saw, and he wasn't the only person in the car to see it. So like, yeah, so that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I was the only person in the car, and the other person, whoever it was in the car with me, thought I was insane. But okay, apparently I was not. So, so she had seen like a tall, lanky figure that was like a shadow figure, really creepy. So there has been a lot of like demonic activity at this cemetery, and clearly people have invited a lot of things there that they should not have. On top of all the vandalism and everything, but there's a very heavy, dark presence there. And so she had described how they had, I could be getting, and I could be getting this story a little wrong, so make sure you go watch it. Because I hold no responsibility for giving you false information because I gave you the source. So they when they had left and they had like ran away from whatever they were seeing, her and her ex-husband had split up with their two friends that they were with. And one of their friends had contacted her several days later and was like, hey, have you heard from Billy lately? And she was like, well, no. Why? And not since, we were at the cemetery. And she was like, because he hasn't been to work in a few days, like since then. And when we had ran from what we were seeing, he ran into the woods and I haven't seen him since.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And apparently this was like 5 years ago and they still don't know what happened to him.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So of course me, being the librarian that I am, decided I was going to try and research some of this information. And I didn't find any like articles or anything of like a missing dude named Billy in Chicago, but it's Chicago. For goodness sake, it's Chicago. So
right, yeah.
I don't know. Like I totally want to like contact her and be like, okay, can you give me the guy's like first name, last name, social security number, like birth date, whatever, so I can like find out some info on this because I need to know. So so I haven't like researched like how legit this story is or anything. Not saying it's not true because obviously we've experienced some crazy stuff in our lives.
Yeah.
Like a missing person is kind of a big deal. So like I want more info.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that's why I'm kind of like intrigued with that story. And I thought I would research the cemetery and everything. And like there's so much information on it. So that is pretty much all I have on that. It's nice. You should look it up because there's a lot. There's pictures that you can find.
I will look it up. I want to go there now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Especially because like Chicago's not that far from.
Right. Yeah.
But man. that's my story. And also like go to her YouTube channel. She has no idea who I am or anything, but go to her YouTube channel. I'm not getting paid to say this or anything because that would be crazy if someone else's channel is paying another channel, but whatever. Check it out, her story, and you'll get the full story. There are other things that happen, and in the middle of her video, like she's recording in her backyard or something, and she has like her house with like this big window behind her, and all of a sudden you see like this child behind her with his like hand in his pants, and you're like, oh my god, it was her kid, but it freaked me out so bad. Yeah, so good times. Funny. But that's the story.
Cool.
So, yay. Cool.
All right.
Was that really long? I feel like that was really long.
No, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very cool. I want to go there. I want to do more research. And actually, will you link her channel to this video so that I can watch it? Okay, cool. Because now I'm like super intrigued.
Yeah, you know what I just realized though?
Huh.
We forgot the sage.
Oh, mine is burning right now.
I have some nag champa burning. Okay.
I have sage burning and so I was super excited. Gosh, was that yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Wasn't it? Or was the day before? Whichever day. I came home.
You have no concept of time.
I don't. I came home from work and there was a package for me from Senna, and it was just such a day brightener because I'd had a really rotten day, but like inside were all kinds of like witchy goodies, including my first bottle of Sage Goddess perfume, which smells amazing, and holy crap, it is potent. You only need 1 drop of that stuff. So Anyway, the point is that I am burning. She sent me kind of like a mystery bag of incense sticks. And so like the past 2 days in a row, I've just like pulled one at random. And the one that I'm burning right now, I don't know what it is, but it smells so good. Like it's
Is
kind
it
of like, huh?
is it spicy? Is it florally?
It's kind of like a fresh, almost like rainy scent or something. Like
Huh. Maybe it's water.
um maybe because like it almost smells like cologne or something. Like
Huh.
it's
Okay, so here's the thing.
uh-huh.
I am an incense hoarder. Like we have this like overflowing box of incense because I just like every time I go to a metaphysical store, I'm like, oh no, I got plenty of incense. Ooh, but what's this smell like? I might as well get it because it's so cheap. And so
Right.
I just like I have so much incense, and I was gonna label it all for you, but I was like, that's crazy.
No,
So
it would have taken so long. Like,
yeah, I'm trying to
yeah.
like color code with nail. Like I don't have that much nail polish to try and like color the ends and like tell you what they are. So
I actually kind of like the like I've enjoyed both sticks that I've just pulled at random. It's been like a really nice like surprise, you know what I mean? Because I don't know
yeah.
what I'm getting. And so both times it's like, ooh, what's this? So it's been fun this way. I just like this one, it smells so good that I really want to buy some. I'm like, oh damn.
Oh, good.
Like
Well,
it's
I'm gonna make a list for you of what all I
okay.
have. So like you can probably like maybe if you see the word, you'll like draw the scent to it. You
Yeah,
know,
maybe. Yeah.
maybe just if not, well, you're out of luck. But
Do
I'll be
you
organized.
have an incense called water, or were you just joking when you said that?
No,
Because
I have
like,
all of the elements. I have
oh,
earth,
you do? Oh, okay.
earth. No, I have fire, water, metal, and something else.
Okay. Because like I
But
could
I also
see
have
it
like
being water. Like it smells kind of, it smells very fresh. It smells like
un- unless it's white sage or sage.
it
Because if
doesn't
it
smell
smells
sagey.
okay, well, okay, so the white sage and the sage don't smell like sage. They
Oh,
smell like
okay.
almost like cleaning product in a way, like a fresh, like natural cleaning
Oh,
product, like you're
okay. Okay.
cleansing the room. So if you get to that, that's sage. But otherwise,
Maybe
I
that's
do
what it
have,
is then.
yeah, I do have a water one, and I have a like waterfall forest one that I got from like this like Native American shop in
Oh, cool.
Fall Creek Falls during the eclipse when I was
Oh,
camping.
sweet.
Yeah, it was a cool shop. When you come visit,
Sounds
we
like
should go
it.
there because it was pretty sweet. He had
Yeah.
some cool stuff. I got a pendulum there.
Oh, cool.
Another one.
I
So,
actually would like another one. I like, God, I'm like, I don't know. I'm getting to this point where it's like, there, you can't have too many of X, Y, or Z. Like,
right?
I also recently started really delving into studying tarot more too.
Oh,
And,
good.
yeah, it's been really interesting, like actually doing the research and like, I definitely feel like I have more of a grasp on it now. Cause I used to do, I like usually every week I'll do like like a just a 3 card spread for myself, and then I'll also pull an oracle card. But
Uh-huh.
it like I would always have to look up each individual meaning of the cards, and now that I have more of a grasp on it, I can see like how they relate to each other. It's a lot easier, so I'm really enjoying it. But like the point is, I keep like so I have 2 tarot decks. And now I really want to buy like a newer, like a nice one,
Uh-huh.
since I've been practicing and stuff. But I know I'm gonna end up having like a billion tarot decks, and it's like I don't need them. Like I can
A
just
lot of people,
tell.
I just love the artwork. Like it's so beautiful, and
Yeah,
so it
it's
just
so
changes and
pretty.
all of it. But every time, so it's really. This is gonna sound stupid, but you can probably relate. No offense.
Probably.
That's
No, I
not supposed to
probably
be
can.
an insult. But knowing us, anytime I do divinations or I'm like practicing, especially tarot, whenever I practice tarot, because I'm not as comfortable with it as I am with other divinations,
Hmm.
I think of Ron Weasley like I see this and I see and so you're gonna suffer, but you're gonna be happy about it.
Oh man.
That's what I always think of, like, oh, I
Yeah.
hope I'm not that bad.
No, I doubt it. Poor Ron. He's not the greatest wizard out there, but he's
No.
lovable. I have you ever tried to read tea
Coming
leaves, by the
from
way?
Rhonda Weasley herself.
Yes. Oh my God. Oh my God. I was Rhonda Weasley. I completely forgot about that.
I want to find those videos so bad.
Me too. Oh my God. We used to make these like with our friend Eric. We would make these like Harry Potter like fan fiction movies, basically. Yeah, like parodies. And Senna was Hermione and Eric was Harry and I was Rhonda Weasley.
Rhonda Weasley.
And I was a total spaz. Like oh my God. I want to find those so bad and watch them.
Eric has them and he's been holding on to them and I think hiding them for a long, long time. Like more than a decade.
They're probably at his parents' house. You know what? I'm friends with his mom on Facebook and like she and I talk occasionally. I should like message her and be like, hey, Jill.
But like we need to digitalize those. Because this was before like digital camcorders. Like this was when like technology was at the cusp of being at the hands of all people before iPhones were like invented and open to the public.
Oh yeah, this was definitely pre-smartphone. This was like you had like an analog video camera with like little tiny cassette tapes that would go inside it.
Yes, we thought it was a big deal that we had smaller cassette tapes.
Yeah, we did. It was like, wow, this is so cool. And there was like an adapter that looked like a regular size cassette tape that like had a little door in it and it would open up and you'd put the little tape inside of the big tape and then put it in the VCR.
It's very complicated. Very complicated.
It was. This was those days. Oh my God. That feels so long ago now.
Yeah, but we need to find those videos because they're awesome.
We do. We do need to find those videos.
But anyway, to your question, reading tea leaves. I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
I was just going to ask if you have the port key.
Yeah, because you gave it to me when I got married.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I have it in a special treasure chest.
Cool. We should like do some sort of something in the future where we go through that because it would probably be really funny.
Oh man, I've looked through it a couple times and I'm like, it's just us bitching about people. Like we had code names.
In code.
Yeah, but they were all like Harry Potter characters, like Malfoy and Goyle and all that. And
oh, God.
It's all us just like complaining about people we hated in high school and family.
We were so cool, you guys.
I know, right? You're so lucky to know us, especially now.
we had our very cool club of 3. Yeah. We were just the coolest ever. I think Ashley's home.
Oh,
hi, honey.
Hi, Ashley. I'm keeping you. Oh my goodness. Okay, you need to tell us your story.
Oh, okay, yeah. I actually can probably. So I kind of got on a theme with my researching today by accident, which was San Francisco. So I actually have 3 short ghost stories, all taking place in San Francisco. So I could just do one, if that's okay with you.
Whatever you want to do. I don't care. Hi.
Okay. No, sorry. Hi? I was saying hi to Ashley.
You recording?
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, I said hi to her, but then she came in the room and I actually saw her, so I had to say hi again. Anyway, okay, so I'll let you pick, Senna. I have 3. Okay. And 2 of them you're definitely going to be familiar with. One is the story of the Winchester Mystery House.
Which we have followed for a very long time.
Yes, I want to go there so bad. 2 is Alcatraz.
Ooh.
And 3 is and I thought it was interesting when you were telling your story because I also have a White Lady of Stowe Lake.
There's always come on, let's get more creative.
I know, right? It's like, okay, yes, they're ghosts, they're white, she's female, we get it. Like, come up with a better name than White Lady.
At least Willard had like the Gray Lady. At least we start getting on a spectrum here. Like, whatever.
They're exploring different shades.
Right.
So which one would you like to hear?
Well, you probably already know, but I would say the Winchester House because both of us have been fascinated with that one for a long time.
Absolutely. So this is going to be pretty brief. I'm going to give like kind of a summary or, like to talk about what the deal is with the Winchester Mystery House and then into a few little hauntings. But okay. So for those of you who don't know, Home to some of America's most famous ghost sightings, the Winchester Mystery House took 38 years to build under the guidance of ghosts and ghouls. Instead of using architects to help with the planning and design, Sarah Winchester, grieving after the death of her husband, asked for the help of a medium. He told her, and also, God, this medium was a dick. Like when you hear about, like in retrospect, like I was reading through this today and it's just like, what a jerk. Like he like doomed this poor grieving woman to like live in a state of fear until she died.
Nice. Anyway, that's nice.
Yeah. He told her that he and her daughter had died due to that. Okay. Yeah. That her husband basically and their daughter had died due to a curse on the family because too many people had died at the hands of the Winchester gun. So Sarah Winchester was the widow of the owner of the Winchester Rifle Company. And this gun was used in a lot of like raids out west, and a lot of Native Americans were killed at as a result of this gun. And so this medium told her that she and her family were cursed because of all the deaths carried out by this gun. And so he told her that she had to move, and not only did she have to move, but she would have to build a house specifically for the spirits. But she couldn't just do that. He told her that if she ever stopped building the house, if she ever stopped, the curse would get her as well. So this house, as long as she lived there, this house was constantly being built onto. This house, I was told at one point, had its own zip code. This is how big this house is. It says a bell tower was added to the home to summon and dismiss the spirits, and there was a specific seance room added to speak with the spirits directly as well as with her dead husband. The house is known as the Mystery House, and in fact, tours are given here today, and I really want to go, due to the odd layout, designed to flummox and confuse the malevolent spirits and to keep Sarah safe from the curse. Hallways doubled back on themselves, doorways dropped down to nowhere and led to windows. Stair posts were installed upside down, and everything in the house had 13 of something. 13 stairs, 13 panes of glass, 13 windows in the 13th bathroom. Wherever she thought using the number 13 would keep her safe from demons or not remains to be seen, but it's a fascinating house. So there's also, I mean, there's lots of specials on this house as well. Like you can find them on the Travel Channel and stuff. I mean, this house has like staircases.
Ghost Adventures. They went there twice.
Yes. Ghost Adventures. There's all kinds of visits to this house. And I mean, it's like, there are staircases that lead to nowhere that just like go up to the ceiling. There are like doors.
I think oh, sorry. I'll let you finish.
No, go ahead.
I think they just recently found another one that went somewhere. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, it's like, it's so crazy. Like this house is so huge and so confusing that they're still discovering things about it. Like it's so crazy. Mm-hmm. So it was designed this way
a few months ago.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So this house was designed specifically to confuse the spirits. So all of the summoning of spirits reportedly means that the house was brimming with paranormal activity. And to this day, organs are said to play of their own accord. And cold spots are felt throughout the house. Voices are heard with no explanation of their origin. And there have even been sightings of spirits throughout the house. One of the most famous, and this doesn't say this in the story, but like there are lots of different accounts online if you want to look it up of people actually seeing Sarah Winchester, she was famous for not allowing her picture to be taken. There are only 2 known pictures of her in existence.
Right.
And but like she has a very specific look to her. She was kind of like a larger, like kind of stout and kind of heavy set, and like obviously wearing like Victorian period clothing. And like, so even though there are only 2 pictures of her, she does have a pretty specific look about her. And so people report seeing her in the house. People report, feeling cold spots. People report seeing other entities. And like, allegedly there were like just hundreds of spirits after her. Now, whether or not that's true, I don't know. It's possible that she was just this like grieving woman who is duped by this medium, right. What I mean? And she just led a very tragic life, but it is a really interesting story and a really fascinating house. And I really, really, really want to go there.
That should be our We Turn 30 trip.
Yeah, we should go to freaking Oh my God, that would be so cool.
We'll be like 33 by the time that happens, but we should totally plan it.
We should. We should go to San Francisco. We can go to the Winchester Mystery House. We can go to Alcatraz, and we can go. That. Yeah, and we can go to Stowe Lake.
Okay. God. I'll also have to do some hiking out there because, like, I've never been to California, but there's some like great state parks.
No, I know. I want to go. I want to see the redwoods. I want to go to the Sequoia National Forest. Like, there are all kinds of things I want to do. Yeah.
5-year friendship goals.
Woo! Yes, 5-year friendship goals. I forgot about that. Oh God, that's fun.
Yeah, because I've been to all except for 10 states.
Holy crap!
Yeah, and most of them are on like the left side of the country.
Right.
I say left side. I should say the
left side.
As someone who works with directions, I should.
The left-hand side, the stage right side of the country.
I work with children for a living, okay? I mean, so we're simplifying things.
Yeah, that's cool.
When I have to check in their book, I'm like, okay, let me take a picture of it. I'm not taking a picture, I'm scanning it in. That's what happened.
Well. Anyway. Okay. Well, okay. I hate to cut this short, but in the interest of full disclosure, I really have to go to the bathroom right now. I have had to go for a while, but I didn't want to leave you like hanging on air just to like talk while I'm going to the bathroom. And I definitely didn't want to do it while we're talking. So
I appreciate that. I respect that you respect
you.
Me in that fashion.
I am nothing if not classy. So
awesome. Well, I hope this whole thing recorded.
Yeah, that would be ideal.
That would be great. So awesome. Yay. Research all these things. Winchester House is very fascinating.
It is so cool.
Ghost Adventures went there twice. I think they found more on their second time there, but
did they? I don't think I've seen the second trip. I'll have to watch it.
It's been such a long time, I don't remember, but check it out. It's a cool place.
Yeah.
Awesome. So anyway, all right, cool.
Any hoozle. It's
great
been
story,
real
bro.
As always. Cool story, bro. I love it.
All right. Well,
okay.
I had no way to sign off. I don't know.
We never know. Every time we do one of these, we're like, okay, so now I guess we'll just kind of like ramble awkwardly until one of us is brave enough to hang up.
I'm just gonna be like, bye.
Bye, click. If you do, it'll probably take a while for me to notice because it doesn't like go offline, and I'll probably just be like rambling to myself for like 5 minutes and then I'll hang up. Anyway, okay.
But real.
For real. We're really gonna go this time. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Wait, stop the broadcast.